Hello, this is Truth Be Told Transformation, and I'm Bonnie Burkert, here to share tools for transformation to live your highest truth. One thing that's super true for me is that I love astrology. And today, I thought we would have a conversation about what's happening with astrology and how the ever-illuminated tarot cards can give us some insight on what's to come. No one better to read your cards and understand the tarot than the masterful priestess, Ginger Pullman. Hello.
Hi, Bea. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
So Ginger and I were having a conversation on Monday night, and I started to talk about it was a new moon. And I started to kind of wax poetic about the astrology. And there's a lot going on. So right now, the show is taping in July of 2023. And there is a change in the lunar nodes. So guess what? This is not an astrology show, and I'm not an astrologer. I'm just a person that listens and has to keep listening because I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly what's going on. But I'll give you some broad strokes. This is a change. I think it's reflective of a change from 18 months ago. So we've been in a certain set of nodes, which was Taurus and Scorpio, for 18 months. And now we're moving in, and lunar nodes are, again, sort of the polarity of the moon and that kind of stuff. You're going to have to look that up yourself. I'm not going to try to get astrological that way. But I am going to talk to you about what's up with Libra and Aries. And so when I spoke to Ginger about coming onto the show and how we could kind of tie tarot into astrology, I decided to call this Tarot for the Changing Times because, I mean, the times, they are always a-changing, right?
Yes, they are. Absolutely. And that's why we love astrology and we love tarot to help us guide through these, inevitable transitions. And that's all it is. It's just change, and change is okay. And but sometimes it can be scary. So it's good to have a little bit of a sneak preview or a little gift to say okay, this is what you're going to need for this next trip. You're going to need a bottle of water, an Uzi, and an apple.
Okay, so stay tuned because we are going to go through the signs and have a look ahead through the end of the year or so. Ginger will let us know how it comes. But I just wanted to, let's do a broad overview with tarot for a minute and just say, Ginger, can I ask you about so what does the next 6 months look like? Or do I need to be more specific and say, should I stay or should I go in this job, relationship, I don't know, house? So how do you feel is a good way to use the wisdom of the tarot?
Well, there's a couple ways I personally approach it. I always do, you always have the option, whether you're getting a reading with me or another reader, to just say let's just get an overall picture. And that's where we'll just kind of do broad strokes, and the cards will kind of pull up what kind of energy is in your space. Are you in a good place? Are you in a stressful place? Is there a lot of shift or change coming, or have you just gone through some stuff? And what is the energy around that? It's basically a real broad, is it raining or is it sunny? Then you can dive deeper into those particulars and say okay, well, is it partly cloudy with a chance of rain, or is it a rain cloud, or is it a bunch of thunderstorms? Then you can get some more detailed things. I'm in Missouri right now. We have a lot of these crazy summer storms going on right now. That's why I'm so weather related with my analogies today.
I think it's
good.
But
that's kind of what you need to do, is just you could have every right to go very broad, and then you kind of get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, that's great.
So, yeah.
The weather analogy is a good one. And by the way, I'm going to say something that I heard about thunderstorms, that the electrical current of lightning is a very creative time. So take advantage of your time away. I know we've had Ginger in the studio for other shows, but I wanted to have her on at this juncture. And so, hey, Missouri, and God knows what that creative charge of the lightning may be bringing through for you.
I love that. I will be sure to run around in a big field with a large metal stick, waving it around and seeing what happens. I'm so creative right now. No, just kidding. I love you. No, that's actually fantastic energy. There is something magical about a thunderstorm. It's such a moment of, I guess, faith and trust.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything about it. You can't stop it. Okay, this is happening. What do we do?
Right.
That's it.
Exactly. And it's kind of going back to, this is like turning inwards and probably, what are the animals doing? How do they feel when they're out in a tree with, thunder and lightning? It's just, I don't know. It's just very interesting to think of. It goes back to primal instincts, I think, with that. So one other point I'm going to make about the astrology that I know of this time is also Venus retrograde at hand. So do you want to kind of... okay, let's talk about the lunar nodes really quick, what I did know. So I mentioned Libra and Aries. Okay, so this is what I know. I'm going broad strokes, and everybody please dive in. It's really, really fun to start to learn a little bit more beyond just reading your horoscope in the newspaper or on, whatever, Yahoo, or pick your site. So Aries, beginning sign. Right? New beginnings.
Yes.
Fresh starts.
New beginnings. Okay? I always personally call it the rock star, the lead singer of the band Zodiac. Like, it's very like eye oriented. It's like the newborn. Like, the newborn is just like me. It's all about me. It's almost they have zero awareness that there's other people involved. But they're very cute and charming. I'm just my Aries in general, but it's a big leadership. I definitely feel like it's a big leadership kind of sign.
But that's interesting. And one of my favorite astrologers, Molly McCord, referenced each sign by relating it to the birth of a person. So Aries is like ages 1 to 7, and then it goes on to Taurus being 7 to 14, and then relating some of the qualities of what you're doing at those ages to those signs. So 1 to 7, you're learning how to talk and walk and not necessarily in that order and things like that. So it's really interesting to apply it. And then we're going to flip it and talk about the Libra influence, and that is about relationships, right? Also, so we've got this Venus retrograde, but then we've also got the lunar nodes with an emphasis on Libra. So I think that's something for us to look at and a chance to kind of review, right, where we're at with relationships. It doesn't have to mean good or bad. It's just going to be at the forefront.
Yeah, Libras are they're definitely, they're known as the sign of partnership and also balance. And the diplomats, like if you want to know somebody who knows somebody, ask your Libra friend, because everybody is like 2 degrees away from some Libra. I swear on all things holy. Like, if you need to meet somebody, find out what Libras you know, and they'll probably know that person, or they'll know how to get to them. They're very they're so sociable, and because they're the amazing, this incredible sign of partnerships and balance. When you have something, and I'm just like in broad strokes, like somebody who's like a bombastic, I'm a newborn, I'm an Aries, and I know the way, people tend to attract their opposite sign. The Libra can be like that very diplomatic way to say, like, express like, okay, like I know they're kind of being a big fat ego head right now, but hear us out and you're going to like this idea. So like those two together are actually one of my favorite combinations, to see Libra and Aries folks working together, which they always tend to find each other. It's very amusing.
That is so cool. Yeah, it's the opposite sign as far as the harmony between opposite signs. It's a very interesting thing to contemplate, because you wouldn't think. The qualities are different, but hey, opposites attract, right?
I know. Well, you're not really going to pay your bills of like, hi, I'm 6 months old, I'm 3 months old, let's buy a house. It's like, yeah, no.
Right? So
you need somebody that you need like both sides, and maybe the Aries will drag Libra out of their comfort zone a little bit, which maybe the Libra might need, because they don't like disrupt anything. I don't want to make anybody mad, and the Aries will just say like, they'll beat me out like make them mad, do what you want, rock star. Aries are hilarious. So
just wild and free.
Yeah.
Right?
They're just can't hold them down, but hearts of gold.
Young. So I see you shuffling cards for those who are on YouTube, and thank you for everybody else who's just listening. And please know our YouTube channel is Truth Be Told Paranormal. So I think we're going to speaking of Aries, you want to take a look and say, for those who are the Aries sign, and what they can expect, and what are we thinking? How are we doing this? Is it through the rest of the year? Is it through the summer? What's a good way to pull.
Well, how long is the effects from this? I think it's the Grand Cardinal Cross. Is that what it is? What's going on right now? Like, how long are the effects of this lasting?
Well, I know for sure 18 months as far as the lunar nodes, and I don't know about the Grand Cross. I didn't look that up before. Like, I've been hearing about it, but it didn't fully register. But yeah, there's some Pluto spiked in, and I think maybe some Jupiter as well. Sorry.
Oh no, maybe I'm wrong. It may not be a Grand Cross. Maybe the nodes. All I know is that there's big astrological weather. So
there's so much going on right now, and so I think that again, this is why Ginger and I thought it might be just interesting to pull some cards and get a read. So I'm kind of feeling like just pulling it back to the basic calendar, so that anytime people happen to be listening to this. It might be through the end of the year, or just kind of a broad view. I'll let you tune into that because Ginger's done a lot of work in intuitive studies as well. So her work with the cards really transcend just a translation of what those images are on the card. It is much, much more transcendent than that. So just take a moment and see how we want to do a read. And we are going to go through the signs. So
yes, we're going to go through each individual sign. So whenever you're watching this, it could be a year from now, I think this message will still apply to you.
Okay.
So this is going to be basically like, what tools do you have to negotiate, to navigate these changes that are inevitably happening? What are you kind of shifting out of, and what are you kind of bringing into your life? So I'll pull 2 cards, unless I feel like pulling 4. But anyway, it's going to be 2 cards quickly for each sign. And we're just basically say, like, we'll start with like Aries. We'll start with the fire signs. We'll start with Aries.
Okay.
We'll start with our newborn, and I'm just going to say, like, Aries. In general, like, what's Aries letting go of, and what are they kind of growing into, or what are their tools that they can use to navigate things.
Fabulous.
So right now we have like the Magician coming up for Aries, and Aries are very used to making things happen. And in some ways that might be a challenge for you to, let go of, I guess, Aries, let go of getting your way, because you can't always get what you want. A little Rolling Stones out there for you rock and roll Aries. But the amazing thing is what you're growing into, what your gifts and tools to manage these changes is the Page of Cups. And this is a symbol of creativity and joy and like childlike enthusiasm and wonder. So Aries, allow yourself to just, I guess, feel curious about not getting what you want. Like, accept, like, okay, I really wanted this to happen. It didn't happen. I'm getting a redirect. And instead of being mad, Aries, and punching the wall about not getting your way, get curious about it and say, like, okay, how can I make this work? Like, what's a playful approach to this? And kind of let your inner child lead the way. So that is my message for Aries. You're not going to get what you want, but you might get what you need, and be very curious about that.
Excellent. You've put that Stones song in my head now. Thank you very much.
Girl, it's an earworm.
It's one of the best ones.
So I guess since we are continuing with the fire signs, I'm going to go with Leo now. Bonnie, you have Leo in your chart, do you not?
I am Leo Moon.
Yeah, you can tell because she's got that good hair. Leos have nice hair, people. They do. Look at that. Look at that mane.
I'm not so sure about that, but luckily for those people that are only listening, don't worry. That's not a reason to come over to YouTube. My hair.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Hair be told. All right. So let's just see, to manage these changes, what is Leo letting go of or moving out of, and what can Leo magically use to navigate these waters? Leo, once again, you fire signs, Leo, kind of the same message as Aries, is getting what you want, or being very satisfied. Like, I feel like, not that things have been easy for you, Leo, in any stretch of the imagination, but like, things have been kind of, people tend to listen to Leos because they are very royal and they're very dynamic. And I feel like somebody might be questioning your authority is actually the message that I'm getting. So, I don't know why they're questioning authority. I feel like whoever's going to be questioning your authority, honestly, has no right to. So I feel like somebody is challenged by you. Girl, look at that. We have the 9 of Wands here, and this is the card of perseverance. So yeah, Leo, I have this energy of somebody questioning your choices or your decisions or your leadership. If you work in a team, somebody might be wanting to take your shine away from you a little bit, or take your position, or something. There, I feel like there's some sort of personal conflict going on with you, but you've got the goods. You hold on there. You're so strong and mighty, Leo. So you just hang in there. Nobody's going to take your power away from you. So just be aware. Like if you feel challenged, you're up for the challenge and you are very strong. So
okay,
boo on them. Who would challenge a Leo? I wouldn't.
But maybe they need it sometimes. So, Sagittarius.
All right. So then Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius with the changes. What's going on for our dear Sagittarians? You know what's the funny thing I've noticed about Sagittarians, Bonnie?
What?
Is that they are the first people to kick off their shoes anywhere and be barefoot. And they're also, I like to describe them as like the clumsy dancers. Like they can be so graceful the way they move, like either on a basketball court or like a dancer, but then they'll walk off stage and then like walk into a wall. Like Sagittarians crack me up. They're so funny. I love Saggies.
Interesting.
All right, Saggies, let's see what you're getting into. What are you walking away from? What are you walking into? What gifts do you need to manage these changes? Wow. So the gifts you need is like, basically, I feel like Sagittarians for some reason have not actually had a chance to be their full joyful self. Something's been holding them back. This is the Queen of Swords, and she's not very kid-like. Like she's very like logical, and she needs to hold up her sword and kind of protect herself a little bit. So I feel like Sagittarians, it's almost like that free-spirited energy you used to have has been a little bit dormant for you. It's like, if you think back to like 2006, like kind of where were you in 2006? And that was like a while ago. So who were you back then? I feel like you may have been a little bit more lighthearted back then, and kind of like life got lifey on you, Saggy. That's what I'm thinking.
Right? All of us, but especially Sages.
So especially Saggies, like really, truly, I kind of feel like Saggies have been through it. Like they're not like I can't be barefoot. I have to put on shoes. There's nails everywhere. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like Saggies, look, you got actually the same card as the Leo just had, this 9 of Wands here. And this is basically like, Saggy, just hold on. Good stuff is coming. You got this, and I know you're not having as much fun as you used to have, but I feel like good times are ahead for you. You got the perseverance to get through this. Yeah, and I had to pull a third card. It's really bad for my Saggies. And look at this. We got the Queen of Cups. So you are moving away from this energy of this Queen of Swords, which is very protective and logical, and she spreads sheets and data, which is awesome and lovely, but it's really not where you want to live. And we have this Queen of Cups. She's a little bit more creative. She's a little bit more closer to your energy. She's more creative, introspective, like giving of others. I kind of feel like, Saggy, you kind of have been through a war, and the war is over, and you can go home and take off your armor. That's what's going on for you.
What made you go back to 2006?
You know what? I think I briefly watched like one like video about like this about the astrology things, and I think it was this, and I don't know, it pops back in my head again, so it's just 2006 pops in my head, so that's what I'm sharing.
Yeah, no, I think I heard the same, so it's just interesting to do the math of how long ago that was. So yeah, no, just thanks.
Yeah, that wasn't 10 years ago.
I know, that's what's kind of crazy.
I know when people say like, oh, that took place in the 70s. Yeah, like 20 years ago, right?
I know. How about clothing from the 80s is now considered vintage?
It's so vintage.
Ouch. It's all right. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. So I'm going to be intuitive and see if I can figure out which element we're going to be working with next. So we started with fire, and I'm going to say, okay, I've got it in my head. I'm not going to say it, and you're just going to go.
Earth.
Oh, I was wrong. That's okay. We'll get good at this.
I was close. No, but I was gonna do air.
Yes. Well, because Ginger and I have an assignment that we had to pick an element to work with. So I'm working with air right now. So I thought that maybe you would kind of guess that because she's working with fire. So anyway, I think you said earth first. So let's go into earth.
I said earth first. Yeah, but I thought it was going to be air, but I thought you were switching it up. So I was like, oh, she's switching it up. I'm going out of order. So my order was already air. So.
So I was right.
Yeah. Basic intuitive message for anybody. Don't question the message. Sometimes just like say the thing and don't overthink it. Sometimes like the first thing you say is the thing that you say. I don't know how many times I've have intuitive something out of somebody through making a joke. It's hilarious how many times it's happened. So if I make a joke about you, might be true. Like, Bonnie, you're about to win $1 million in the lotto. Scratch it.
Right.
Okay.
Tools for transformation. And I forgot to pay Powerball last night. Darn. I still would have done the show. If I would have won, I still would have done the show.
Of course you would.
Okay.
How could you not?
Back to air. Back to the air signs.
All right, air signs, my lovely communicators, my writers, my diplomats, my lawyers, my contract lovers, my lovers of language. Okay, air signs. Let's start with Libra, because why not? Because we're going to the nose. Libra, what are you guys letting go of with this nodal change, and what gifts do you have? Libra, you're so Libra right now. My biggest joke is that heaven forbid you ever try to get a Libra or a Pisces to make a decision. Libra, whatever long-term decision that you have been sitting and hemming and hawing over, and this could be a really big one that you've had for a long time. Maybe you've been wanting to move or change careers, but you've been doing it. But on the other hand, you may have been driving yourself crazy for the past, we'll say 2006 or like 18 months ago. I don't know what it is. There's some huge thing that's been going on for a long time. We'll just say that, a long time. This is not a question you've had in your mind for a couple of weeks. This is for a long time. This should I or shouldn't I thing. Look at this Ace of Cups. I kind of feel like you're going to get the green light from the universe to make this change happen. So whatever you're thinking about doing, it's a yes. Or if you're looking at two completely different options and both are equally fine, I think you're going to get such a divine message from the universe that it will make your little Libra self clear and very comfortable with moving forward with your decision. So whatever this decision you've been kind of like nibbling on for a long time, you're going to make a decision. Oh, call the news, Bonnie. Call the news. A Libra is about to make a decision.
I know. Pisces too, but no, it's good. All right, this is good.
And Pisces, I love my Libras, and I love my Pisces.
You love us all.
I do. I love all my signs.
So Libra, we're in air.
So Libra.
No, wait.
Yeah, we're in air. So let's go on to our Geminis. Our storytellers, our smack talkers, our performers, our politicians, our just great people, Geminis. If you ever want to have a great time, just sit down and ask a Gemini to like, tell me a story about your childhood or like whatever. Gemini will just tell you a story and you will crack up for hours. You're like, Gemini! Always got something to say. All right, Gemini, what are you kind of letting go of, moving away from? What are you moving into? What gifts do you have to move you through this change that's coming up astrologically? Gemini, you've been kind of like in fantasy land. I feel like actually you've had a ton of options. And again, this is so funny how it's echoing the Libra. Again, almost an indecision, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Or like maybe people have had a lot of offers to you, or you've had a lot of options, but nothing really has seemed quite clear to you. It's like there's a lot of fantasy. You have a lot of choices. And part of it is your fast Gemini mind can quickly I guess, run the numbers on like, well, if I buy a house in Boca Raton, it's going to cost me this much money. And if I go to Austin, Texas, it's going to cost me this much money. Both look good. And it's kind of going back and forth. Again, air sign, very much like the Libra. But your gift for using this is the moon. So I think you're kind of going to deep dive into, like, I call this my, like, I guess your intuition, your Pisces waters to like manage this. So it's kind of like, if you feel like somebody or something in your life has almost been deceptive, like somebody, it could be too much of a fantasy. I kind of feel like you're going to be able to dive into the murky waters of the deep sea. Like, I can't see quite what's in front of me, but I can see enough to where I'm going. It's almost like I'm getting the word moonlit path. You're almost going to be following a moonlit path. Like, I'm not sure. I haven't been sure where I'm going, but I just feel like step by step, Gemini, you're going to take steps to like get to your destination. I know you might want all the facts and the information, but I just don't feel like whatever you've been wrestling with, Gemini, that's going to happen. So you're really going to have to trust your instinct on this. And your instinct, your intuition will be correct, even though you don't know the whole path. You'll get there eventually.
Very interesting.
Kooky, crazy.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds like a lot of these readings are people moving from uncertainty into just sort of persevering, patience, right?
Yeah.
Things like that.
There's been a lot of there's getting a lot of energy around uncertainty, and if you're listening to this, and these messages can apply whenever you're hearing it. Also, be sure to tune into your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, and sometimes like those messages together might have more clarity for you.
Okay, so are we talking about Libra, Gemini? Would there be Aquarius? Is that our next air sign? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, Aquarius, my inventors, my thinking outside of the boxers, or the ones who are from another planet. So you try to look like everybody else. So like you think they'd be Aquarius, like I look like everybody, because they're so afraid to let their freak flag fly. Love Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, let's see what you're getting into. Aquarius, they are from other planets. I swear, most of the time an Aquarius is from other planets. All right. Aquarius, you have been like flying high and doing a lot of things and going and going and going and going, and kind of like almost in some ways, I'm actually saying like this seems really positive, but I feel like a lot of you have been spinning your wheels. Like you've been putting all this energy out there and all of the stuff out in the world, and you Aquarians, they love to give. They are humanitarians at the end of the day, and they give and they give and they give and they give. There's a bit of an exhaustion that's been going on for Aquarians. Even though they would deny it, they feel like I'm an endless, bottomless pit of giving. I can keep on giving to humanity. I kind of feel like for some Aquarians, there's been some sort of like somebody or something's been taking advantage of your time, your energy, because I have you walking away from something or something. They're just kind of like, you know what? That's actually kind of nonsense. You might be changing, getting the phrase, I'll just say it, political parties, which is really random, but also could be you've been putting your effort to work with a certain group or crowd of people and you don't want to do that anymore. Or maybe you want to lead in a different way. There's also a word of like leadership. Maybe you want to start your own tribe. But I'm getting you dealing with a group of people in this situation and you saying like, I put enough energy. That's it. Goodbye. So Aquarius. Toodaloo.
Okay.
Good for you.
So that's
and not
great.
That there's anything, I'm not getting that there's anything wrong with the people there around, but
step away.
But just, hey, everything changes. Right. All right, Bonnie, what element is next?
Well, I'm kind of going around the wheel. So if we were, fire is south, and then air is east. So I think we're going to north.
Yes.
So that would be earth.
Yes.
Okay. Was I right?
Yeah.
Was I right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. We're back. Yeah. All right, earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We all need our earth signs holding down the fort. Let's start with Virgo.
Okay.
All right, Virgos, let's see what's going on. What are we dealing with and what tools do we have to come up with this, deal with these changes, these shifts that are coming up? Virgos have actually had a lot of new starts lately, but that's the only thing that's a problem with this card. It's like there's all these great new starts, but then are there any completions? Or there's been a lot of like, that's great, but like nothing has been quite getting, oh, poor Virgos. Nothing has been quite getting done. Like there's never like, okay, this art piece is finished, I will hang it on the wall. A Virgo is constantly like, well, let's add a dot of paint there or glitter there or something. Like there's this element of like a lot of great things going, but nothing quite getting done. It's like I'm seeing untied shoelaces, which is very funny. I've never seen that. And your tools, which you're going to be dealing with, is the Knight of Swords, which is like rushing in to like, all right, let's take care of this real quick, real fast. It could be like all these great projects. You're like, you started a novel forever. This might be your time to be like, that's it, done. Send it to the publisher. Like, oh, painting, fine. Splat, splat, flat, I'm done. Like, I kind of feel like Virgos are getting real, like, the phrase is, I'm done now, like real quick. So there's been a lot of amazing starts with like love or creative projects showing up for you, but nothing quite going to the next level. And I kind of feel like Virgos have a lot of energy for other people. And I feel like, especially with love, and I think that they're going to get to the point saying, like, are you in or out? Because I'm going, or this is getting done. So there you go, Virgos. You got this. You got your mighty sword with this Knight of Swords for your magical tools. You got this.
Exciting. Okay. Do you feel that, are there some ahas for you in that?
For me?
Yes.
Maybe.
All right. Stay tuned for future episodes to find out.
General Virgos. I'm giving to the other people right now. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of like, you know, like stuff is going to get kind of like that's it. We're going to take out the trash with love.
Right.
That's the name of that tune. All right, let's go to Taurus. My nappers, my routine lovers, my shoe collectors. Oh my gosh. Taurus men are the biggest, I call them like sneakerheads, or they got the shoe that matches the shirt. And it's the funniest thing. And also, if you're ever dating a Taurus and you think this is a cute thing to do, don't ever take your little dessert fork and take a scoop of creme brulee off of their plate. They don't like sharing their food unless they like really, really know you. And even then they'll be like, hey, that's my food. Like, it's the funniest thing. Like, nobody else would think anything about it, but I read that once about Taurus, and I've seen some Taurus people like in action, and it's the whole funniest thing. Like, it's my food. Eat your own.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to pay attention to that.
Very funny.
Creme brulee.
All right, Taurus, what have you been going through? What are you letting go of? And what tools and gifts does a Taurus have? Taurus has just been through it. Look at that Tower card. You have been through this is major changes, major cycles ending, major things being like in upheaval. Honestly, Taurus has had, okay, let's put a little asterisk, a little caveat. This is chaos in the world of Taurus. To anybody else, it might be like, yeah, I had to change my plans from flying out on Thursday. Now I'm flying on a Friday. And anybody else would be like, all right, no problem. But changing a plan for Taurus is like, brings up the Tower card. It could be like, I'm moving across the country, or I had to go to another movie than I thought about going to. So let's just keep in mind the level of the chaos for the Taurus that they've been dealing with. Could be that they have not had a chance to have that routine that they like having for the past 18 months. Things are too hectic and they just can't get in that regular routine, that fixed thing that they like to do. So sorry I've been through it, Taurus. But now what's coming up for you is the lovers. And you do have the opportunity, Taurus, to kind of get your schedule working the way you want it to do. And also to kind of like rebuild, reconnect with yourself. And I'm also getting this energy of like letting like love in. So for the Taurus, if you have had some chaos regarding love, I kind of feel like you are going to be going to like a better partnership, or if it's not love, then it might be work and the people you're dealing with. Maybe they felt chaotic and it's caused you stress and chaos. I kind of feel like you have better people coming around you. So hang in there, Taurus. You've got some good folks coming around you that understand you a little bit better, and it'll be all good. Poor Taurus.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, Capricorns. Oh my gosh, Capricorns is so funny. If you ever want to talk dirty to a Capricorn, just be like, let's talk about the stock market. They're like, oh, that's awesome. It's so cool. Actually, I have heard the thing about the age and the zodiac, and I think the Capricorn's like the old man. Like, I just want to sit in my blanket and think about the past. You're like, get your blanket off. You're 21 years old. Go outside and play.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting. Interesting to see.
Like, are you wearing a suit? Are you being successful? Is this successful or not successful? Is this successful? It looks successful. Like, they're so funny. Like, they just got like little goats. They go up the mountain.
Exactly. Climbing those rocks.
climbing those rocks. But they don't really brag about it. That's a cool thing, though. They never really brag about it. They just kind of like, they'll mind their own business climbing away. And all of a sudden you're like, Capricorn, how'd you get up there?
How'd you do that?
I don't know, I'm doing my thing.
I'm Capricorn rising.
Oh, look at you with the podcast.
How did I get here?
This is not my house.
No, it's the house of Tony Sweet, but he's very sweet to have me.
House of Tony Sweet. All right, let's see what's going on, what Capricorns have been kind of like dealing with, and what their gifts. Let's see what's Capricorn, what they're shifting out of. Capricorn's been a little bit too busy, Capricorn's a little bit too like hustle and bustle, and which is like fine because you can manage and handle this energy. But that's my, you don't know if you heard that. That's Sammy scratching up my.
He wants to be on the show too.
In the other rooms.
That was Sam. Sam
so
is
Capricorns,
an orange cat. Just so everyone knows.
Sam. Yeah, Capricorns, yeah, you guys have been really, really, really super busy, and it's like go, 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 go. But I almost kind of feel like sometimes Capricorns go, 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 that they almost forget to take care of themselves like a little bit. That's interesting. And what's coming up for you, or a gift that you have, Capricorn, is we have this like sun energy, which is like more fun and more freedom coming up for you. So I kind of feel like you might be gaining that wisdom. Like there's no point in being successful and having a lot of money if I'm not having any fun. So I kind of feel like fun is coming back into the picture for Capricorn, or childlike energy, which you really need. So if you've been struggling, Capricorn, maybe it's time for you to stop being the old man in the blanket in the corner sipping on soup and realize, hey, I'm still 21 at heart, or whatever. Like, go out and have a good time, or do what made you happy. 2006, go do that again.
Hey, that's good advice for all of us, regardless of sign. I'm applying that to everyone.
Everybody, go have fun. Go play with your inner child. All right, so we have gone through the earth signs, Bonnie. What
Off
next?
to the water signs.
Ooh, and my lovely Pisces, Bonnie.
We can do me last if you want.
All right, I'll do yours last.
All right.
So then we'll start with the sign of Cancer, our Cancerians.
Okay. Here we are.
If you ever want to romance a Cancer, just say like, hey, do you want to just stay in and put on our coziest pajamas and make pancakes? And they'll be like, okay.
I know. It sounds fun to me too, but yeah, I get that.
No, a Cancer cannot handle a home-cooked meal. Like, they'll either be cooking for you if they're the Cancer, or you cook for them. Oh my gosh, they love it. They're so cute. All right, Cancer, let's see kind of what you've been going through, what your gifts are for my Cancers. Oh, interesting. Now, Cancers, you've been working really, really hard on a project or something. Maybe you've been going through school or working on a project, and basically like you've been you've been in the planning stage of your life, but diligently working, you're chipping away at something and perfecting your craft on something for a very long time. And the gift, I feel like you're getting ready to move into the next phase. So whatever this passion project is, or your talents or your gifts, something that you've been working on, it is about to pay off. Let's say you've been working on making jewelry or making muffins. You've been like perfecting this muffin recipe. It's the best muffins ever. And like, bam, you're about to go into this next phase of actually going out and distributing this muffin, or getting distributors or something like that. I mean, doesn't have to be muffins. It can be whatever. What's your muffin? What's your muffin? You tell me. But yeah, that's kind of what you're going into. I feel like you're about to see some results from your hard work. So no notes. Enjoy.
Nice.
All right. So then water sign, we're going to Scorpios. Which I feel like, okay, so we're talking about Scorpios. I feel like we have to like whisper it.
It's a secret.
Because it's Scorpios.
And it's mysterious.
Honestly, a Scorpio already knows what we're going to say. And the Scorpio is always like, okay, this is probably every Scorpio listening to this right now. Arms crossed, like, okay, sure. Tell me what it is. They're so skeptical. Those Scorpios are hilarious. You must scare me, Scorpio. I'm a Virgo.
Right.
All right, darling. All right, Scorpios, let's see what you kind of been going through. What are you phasing out? And what are you bringing in? What gifts and talents? Oh, Scorpios actually had a lot of like new starts, new beginnings, things they have been working on, but they haven't really reached fruition, or like maybe they've pushed other people like to where they want to go, because Scorpios are very giving. Like they will say like, you always wanted to start a band, I'll show you how to start a band. And they're very good, I guess, about pushing the boat into the water for other people. But it's interesting thing that's coming up for Scorpios is a whole brand new grand adventure coming for Scorpios. And when I say like for Scorpios, like this is just for Scorpio. I feel like you have a whole big change coming around you, and you're totally fine with it. You've got good karma because you have helped out so many other people in the past, Scorpio. It's basically time for you to collect your rewards now and cash in those karma chips and start a new adventure, because I feel like, yeah, the Scorpios have helped a lot of other people with their projects. And now it's time for the Scorpios to say like, I'm doing this whole new thing. Who's going to push my boat? And you know what's going to happen? A whole army of people that like, Scorpio, you changed my life. Thank you so much. I'll push your boat out into the water. Have a great trip. It's kind of what I'm saying. That's very interesting. So enjoy, Scorpio. You deserve this.
And what is that? That's a page of...
Oh, I'm sorry. The first one I pulled is the Ace of Cups, what they were kind of going through, and what they're I've got the Fool card, which is like zero, brand new beginnings, diving off of a cliff and into the unknown, but fully trusting and leading with your heart, saying like, it's very, very leap in the net will catch you energy. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Interesting. And that Ace of Cups has come up a couple of times.
Yeah, I think this came up for maybe this is the Virgo, and this is like, but it was like a different sort of message, because I kept on seeing like the Scorpios like being like the mighty Scorpio, like helping like I'll get you going here, like I'll connect you to this person, like kind of like pushing people like where they need to go, because they're very intuitive. But like now I kind of feel like it's Scorpio's turn now to have some good stuff showing up for them.
We will pass that along to our Scorpio friends.
Pass it along. And now, Ron, drum roll, please. Da, 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 da,
all Pisces want to know all this mystical stuff, always, everywhere, all times, right? Not just me.
Pisces. Poor Pisces. I bet there's probably a Pisces listening to this right now, where they should be working or doing something else, but they're listening to this podcast, because no, a Pisces would never want to escape from reality for a minute.
Exactly.
I have a South Node in Pisces, which is a past life thing, so I feel like I can say that.
You can relate?
I can relate. All right, my darling, let's look at our dear, sweet, mystical, magical, beautiful Pisces. What has Pisces been going through, and what are their gifts, their talents? What can they use to navigate these changes in their life? Pisces has had a little bit of conflict and like bickering, which honestly, like, that's not peaceful, yo. I feel like I'm channeling you, Bonnie. That's not peaceful, yo. I love when you add a yo on the end of things. But really, like, this is like not your natural thing. Like, you've got like a Pisces has like enough energy to deal with this stuff, but this bickering or fighting, it's nothing bad, but it's just kind of like, it's very much like, can't we all get along? Or can I be around people that just simply get along? And it's kind of like, you may have had some people, Pisces, around you that have basically, the only way I can say it is like, not cool. Like, not as cool as you are. Like, they're making things way more complicated. And Pisces, you see the flow and then how it can be. And like, this is not a flow energy. This is like, look at all this. Does this look like flow? You got one stick going that way, another stick kind of go that way. They're trying to put together a pup tent in the forest in the middle of the night. They can't figure it out. Ugh, what a nightmare.
It definitely looks like chaos from, here on the camera. I'm looking at it. And that would be Wands. Is that a 7 of Wands?
It's the 5 of Wands.
5.
Yeah.
Yes, very applicable.
Yeah. It's nothing bad. I always like to say, like, this is two kids that have been in the backseat of a car for too long, like a brother and sister, and they're starting to poke and jab each other like a little bit. Like, I thought they don't love each other, but like, they've been in the car too long. They're hot, they're tired, they want to pull over and poop. I don't know what they want to do. But the good news is that you have the Knight of Swords energy showing up for you, which is basically like, you're like, peace, bye. Like,
bye.
Which is so fun. which I think is the same thing that Virgo got. And Virgo Pisces, they're very opposite, but sometimes they're so parallel. It's very interesting for me to see the stuff that goes on. But basically, like Pisces, you're going to say like, look, I lead, because there's a lot of, you can't see them, but there's actually there's like a little heart on this horse, like right, like on the bridle right there. And basically, like, this person's moving very fast and they're leading, but really at the end of the day, they are leading with love. Even sometimes it might be a little misguided, but basically this person is getting the heck out of Dodge. They're like, bye. I don't want to, I'm not going to bicker anymore. Like, it's basically like, it's not a big deal, but it's a drain and a time suck and it doesn't flow. And you're going to take Pisces, or it's going to take their magical energy and go elsewhere where it's appreciated and reciprocated, or like dealing with people who aren't such quite chuckleheads, which is funny because we are managing this Aries and Libra energy, which does have to do with sometimes the people that you are around. So
ain't got no time for this. I love it.
Peace.
Thank you. That is epic.
Those are my readings.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick rundown. I was writing down words as you did it. So I'm going to do, just to finalize, we'll let you catch your breath because that was so great. And thank you. We all thank you. So Aries, redirect. Get curious. Leo, stay strong. Sag, move into fun and creative fun. Libra, a green light for change. Gemini, step by step. Trust your instinct. Aquarius, step away. Virgo, get it done. Wrap it up, get it done. Taurus, rebuild and reconnect. Aquarius, fun and freedom. Cancer, you will get results from hard work. Scorpio, collect your rewards. And the Pisces, bye.
Yeah. Oh, the best way.
You uncool. Bye.
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 I gotta do that.
Ginger.
Bye with 5
I will
E's.
never forget that. I was going through that and telling you some drama, and that was your advice to me. Bye.
Bye.
So, okay, listen, I'm going to, we're kind of at time, and you can come back anytime, Ginger, you know that. And I mostly want to say that Ginger does very, very powerful in-depth readings. And this is like a great little, just a taste test of how fun it is to get a read from somebody who knows these cards so well. And often she works with the Rider-Waite deck, if anybody's really interested specifically, and really kind of knows the symbology. But it's fun to then work with other decks and other, other interpretations. But also and I've known Ginger for a long, long time, just to watch the growth and confidence with those messages coming through. And, there's an opportunity for all of us. So, Ginge, give everybody your website, just in case they'd like to find you.
Yes, you can find me at seekeymelrose.com. That's
SEEKEY, and then Melrose, MELROSE. So, deep breath, exhale, gratitude, feel good, regardless of the crazy astro weather that is out there. We've got this, right? I mean, love and light and laughter.
Always. And gratitude, always.
Always. Attitude of gratitude. Thank you again. Come back soon. This has been Truth Be Told Transformation, everybody, and I'm Bonnie Burkert, here to give tools for transformation, and I really think that the tarot and astrology are some of my most favorites. Be sure to watch other shows, Tony Sweet on Fridays at 3 p.m. live, so he loves it when you come in and join the chat with everybody else and ask some questions of his guest. Robert Hensley has the Minuteman Report, delving into some really interesting subjects on a weekly basis, and Truth Be Told Espanol with Metaphor, new episodes weekly. Thanks again for everybody listening. Be sure to share and like, and that's how we can spread the good word of staying shiny. So I really appreciate you, and we'll find you again very, very soon. Namaste.